The star power is absolutely blinding. The anticipation for this series reflected in the standings. It's the best in the East with the best record in the league against the best in the West with the largest division lead. Some see it as a playoff preview, and it's easy to begin to think that way. So many aspects of these two games will provide a must-see atmosphere. Michael Young against Derek Jeter. Elvis against Cano. Josh Hamilton against Alex Rodriguez. Feliz against Rivera. Wow. And in front of a fired-up, truly home crowd, you can settle in for what should serve as a mid-August measuring stick between two of the American League's best. Your Texas Rangers welcome the New York Yankees to the ballpark in Arlington right now on Fox Sports Southwest. And so many of the players in this series, you know, simply by their faces. You don't even need the number. You don't really need to know much of anything else right now other than that this thing is going to be fun. The next couple of nights, the Rangers will be testing their mettle, I guess you can say, against the storied, proud, evil empire. The New York Yankees are in with a 69-42 record. The Rangers not far off of that pace, and they lead the West by about 8 games. We welcome you to Texas Ranger Baseball. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Josh Lewin. Thank you very much for making Ranger Baseball a part of your night tonight. And the Rangers and the Yankees, yeah, they may be seeing each other again. We don't know that yet, in October anyway. But right now in August, it's fun to just kind of look at them and say these are two real good teams going head-to-head.
Yeah, you know, the Yankees have the reputation. They have the track record. And again, this year, they have the record to back it up. They have the best record in the American League. But for a change, it's a lot closer between the Rangers and the Yankees. Rangers have a better batting average. Runs per game are pretty close. Only .3 is the differential. Yankees have a few more home runs. The Rangers' ERA is actually a little bit better than the Yankees. So, yep, Yankees are number one, no doubt about it, but it's a lot closer than it's ever been.
The Rangers heading towards, they hope, their first playoff appearance since 1999. Of course, the last time they made it to the playoffs, they had to face the New York Yankees. But C.J. Wilson, well, he was still in high school when all that was going on. He's got the ball tonight. The Rangers and the New York Yankees when we come back. Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Progressive. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. By Jack in the Box. Get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo for only $3.99 plus tax. And by Bud Light Lime. The drinkability of Bud Light with the refreshing taste of lime. Ron Washington's team right now up 8 in the AL West. And feeling pretty good about themselves, having gone 4-5 on the road. It was a challenging road trip, but they almost finished above 500. C.J. Wilson's last start, of course, on that road trip, and really one he'd like to throw back. Lasted only 3 innings. It took him 86 pitches to get through that. Tonight, a chance to redeem himself against one of the usually more powerful lineups in baseball, but there are some notable absences. No Robinson Cano tonight. He's under the weather. No Mark Teixeira. He just became a dad for the 3rd time. His son William born today, and he's staying in New York with his wife Lee. Jeter, Swisher, Thames, A-Rod, Kearns, and Berkman. Cervelli, Gardner, and Pena for Joe Girardi's 69-win New York Yankee team. And some more numbers on Christopher John Wilson.
Yeah, the numbers continue to be outstanding. He's got the 14th best ERA, second toughest pitcher in the league to hit, 215 opponent's batting average. And as we mentioned in the pregame show, he's pitched really well at home. He's 8-2, got a solid ERA, just as tough to hit at home as he is on the road. Coming off a start where he was sick and he didn't pitch well. Pitched 3 innings in that game to 85 pitches in 3 innings. One of the few bad starts he's had in a couple of months.
The Yankees wear that patch in honor of George Steinbrenner above their New and York on their jerseys, right on the chests, on the heart, really, of these players. Derek Jeter takes strike 1. $98 at game time here in Arlington. A 2-game set between the Rangers and the New Yorkers. Not a lot of rest after that. The Red Sox come in over the weekend, and the Rangers tag, I think, trying to prove to themselves that, yeah, they can hang with the big boys. Against Tampa Bay, New York, and Boston this year, they are under 500. But obviously, if they do well on this particular homestand, that'll change. Jeter had a very pedestrian June and July. He's been right back to his normal self here in August. A .279 batter for the year. C.J. strikes him out.
He threw it right where he wanted it. Jeter didn't like the call. But Molina sets up on the inside corner. The ball's delivered right in his glove, and it might be an inch off the plate, but that's definitely close enough to being a strike.
Mike Estabrook is the young umpire that just told Derek Jeter to take a seat, and that's a real nice way to start for C.J. Wilson. Now the switch hitting Nick Swisher. And like a lot of teams, the Yankees will load up their lineup with as many right-hand bats as possible against C.J. Wilson. C.J. holding opposing lefties this year to a batting average of about 100. Now, C.J. certainly has a very determined, almost Jedi look to him tonight. I mean, here's Swisher kind of messing around, getting set in the box. C.J. has not taken his eyes off the catcher, Molina.
C.J. prior to his last start in Seattle, the one that didn't go real well, had won 3 straight. He'd won at Boston, he'd won here against the Angels, and against Oakland. He had that one start here against the Angels where he was terrific. 8 innings, few hits, no runs, no walks in that game. Did a tremendous job of mixing his pitches up, changing speeds on the outside corner, throwing enough pitches in to keep the hitters honest, and 1 strike right after the other.
Gets Swisher to pop it up towards Nelly Cruz. And a very strong beginning for C.J. Wilson. 2 up, 2 down. Marcus Thames coming up. David Murphy stays hot, so he stays in Ron Washington's lineup. He's in left with Hamilton and Cruz. Young, Andrews, Guzman, and Cantu. The Rangers go with Benji Molina to catch C.J. Wilson tonight. As the Rangers and the Yankees stare each other down here, Tom, I was looking at this before the game began. And obviously, if it's all about what you do in October, well, not only do the Yankees have it on the Rangers, they have it on everybody. Base hit for Thames in the left. Jumping on the first one from C.J. Wilson. We'll get back to the postseason commentary in a moment. First, we got to see what kind of reception Mr. Rodriguez will receive. That didn't really surprise you, did it?
No, I don't think Alex has been received real well here since he left. That's not a surprise.
Last week hit his 600th career home run. $152 of them in a Ranger uniform. But just like when he goes back to Seattle now, he hears it from the crowd that used to adore him. He really is hearing it even worse here in Arlington. Alex has been part of the Yankees' recent postseason success, obviously. They won a World Series in '09. 213 postseason games won by the New York Yankees in their history. The Rangers have one. The Rangers with designs on creeping back a little bit and all that in mid-October, but obviously, as Ron Washington keeps saying, there's a lot of work to do first. In for a strike. It's 2-2.
That's one thing C.J. did in that game against the Angels. Brought the cutter from outside back in to hit that outside corner. There's a perfect look at it right there. It started out outside and came back and caught the outside corner. And you complement that with a sinker that starts out on the plate and then tails away out of the strike zone.
That one running in on Alex Rodriguez. 3-2. Thames will get going. A foul tip, and he hangs around. A-Rod's second in the majors in runs batted in. He's got 44 of them in his last 40 games.
A good pitch by C.J. Looked like a cutter, a slider maybe. Down and away, not quite a strike. Alex just able to get a piece of it. See ya.
No, called as ball 4.
It looked like a good pitch. He got the call on Jeter on a similar pitch. Didn't get this call on Alex. Tried to do the same thing. Let's see where this one is. Pretty much the same pitch. Maybe an inch off the plate. Got the call on one of them. Didn't get the call on the other one.
Molina had that sleight of hand, that quick whip of the glove back towards that inside corner. Sure made it look like a strike.
Yeah, that's usually a telltale sign that it wasn't a strike. But close. Good call by Mike Estabrook.
Here's Austin Kearns, recently brought in from the Cleveland Indians, along with the native Texan Kerry Wood. That's a strike.
And you get the feeling early in the game that that's going to be a big part of CJ's game plan. Busting his fastball on the inside corner of the plate.
CJ hops ahead 0-2. Kearns had the first Yankees hit yesterday, breaking up John Lester's no-hitter in the 5th. The Yankees in a 2-1 game yesterday. They lost it. Ended up 3-4 on their homestand. One and two to count. The former Astro Lance Berkman on deck. Boy, is it weird to see Lance Berkman in a New York Yankee uniform. Gotten off to a slow start for them, hitting about 185 as a Yankee. Now on 1 and 2 to Kearns. On the ground near short, Elvis Andrus has got it. Close. Got him. Inning over. A-Rod pleads his case. Now he can go get his glove. Andrus, Young, and Hamilton coming up against A.J. Burnett. A 2-game series, and now we'll check out the Rangers starting lineup. They'll be facing A.J. Burnett tonight. Andrus, Young, and Hamilton. Josh is leading it the majors in batting average by a full 10 points. Guerrero, Cruz, and Murphy. Cantu, Molina, and Guzman. And the Little Rock, Arkansas native, A.J. Burnett out there for the Yankees.
Yeah, overall, pretty average year. 9-9, high ERA. Allows a lot of stolen bases. I'm sure if the Rangers get on, they'll try to take advantage of that. Was scratched from his last start, had some back spasms. And he's had a pretty good case this year of being really good or really bad. He's had 7 starts this year where he's given up at least 6 earned runs. And he's also had 7 starts where he hasn't given up an earned run. So a little bit of really good, a little bit of really bad, and not as much in the middle.
Last time out was one of the really bad. 8 runs in 4 2/3 against Toronto. But you're right, Tom. The 2 right before that were both scoreless. A mixed bag from Alan James Burnett.
Well, you know, he's a solid pitcher. But you could make a pretty good case that the contract that the Yankees are paying him for whatever it is, $80 million for 5 or 6 years. A little bit overpayment for someone with his track record. Again, not bad track record, but make a pretty good case it's not worth that much.
He's had a couple of very poor Augusts. This one and last one. The Yankees wouldn't be horrified if that $399 would show up, for example, in September.
No, they might have been a little horrified in June, though, when he had 5 starts and went 0-5 with an 11.35 ERA. That might have horrified him a little. He might have got August out of the way early this year.
Well, that's got to be the hope. They've got Andy Pettit coming back from the DL fairly soon. That'll help. He's only lost twice all year. Will bump Burnett back one notch in their rotation. Andrews socks this one to right. But there's Swisher. Show you the Yankee defense as Michael Young prepares to hit. It's Kearns, Gardner, and Swisher out there. A-Rod and Jeter are used to that on the left side, not so much with Pena and Berkman on the right side. Francisco Cervelli instead of Jorge Posada tonight. It looks like we're filming the Natural Part 2 here at the ballpark tonight. A great crowd, as we mentioned, still filing in. A big traffic jam outside. Those stuck on I-30 haven't missed much yet. No score first inning. It's a rare downtick for Michael Young. First time all year he's been hitless 3 games in a row. Actually 4 for his last 38 overall now, but one of those 4 hits, that was a put-away grand slam 6 nights ago in Seattle. Burnett's got some life on everything he throws, sometimes a little bit too much. He led the American League in walks last year, and he's hit 13 batters this year. Sometimes all that good stuff can get away from him a little bit. As you said, when he's on, he's real good. 2 out.
Pretty great sinking action on that pitch. There's been games, years where his fastball reached the mid-90s. Today it's in the low 90s, but it looked like a 2-seam fastball that really, or maybe a changeup as you look at it a little closer, that dropped way out of the strike zone. 88 miles an hour. Not much spin on it.
Now we'll see what Josh Hamilton can do. What hasn't he done this year? We mentioned leading the big leagues in batting average and total bases and hits. And he's hit safely in 37 of his last 38 here at home. About a .430 batting average during that time. A little bit of a breeze tonight. Wouldn't necessarily say it's cooling things off. We are at 98 degrees, but it's not nearly as still and stagnant as it was the last time the Rangers were here. Hamilton wraps it on the ground to second. Pena gobbles it up. And the Rangers down in order against A.J. Burnett. No score, end to 1. Two on its way. We say hello to Jim Knox.
All right. Hello, Josh and Tom. And Community Corner tonight, we have Alicia Nevins. She's with the Greatest Save organization. Tell us a little bit about this, Alicia.
All right. I'm with KinderVision, and we actually launched the Greatest Save campaign about a year and a half ago. And we've been in business for about 20 years, helping to protect children from abduction and exploitation. We've been affiliated with Major League Baseball for the entire time. Raleigh Fingers is our national spokesperson, and we're here out at the ballpark tonight doing some kids safety events and tips. So if you're out at the ballpark, come on out. Otherwise, if you log on to our website, you can see how we provide all of our free resources.
There you go. They got the information on the screen. Appreciate that. Keep up the great work. Nice to meet you, Alicia. Back to you, Josh. This little Ranger fan right here. Good to have him out here. Yeah.
The baby's like, what? Thank you, Jim. Andrews in the hole. Robbing Berkman. Loads up, fires. The tag going by. No tag. Just Paul Emmett.
How could he be safe?
I don't get it either. Ron Washington's out to ask the same thing. Now are they going to call him out? Really?
He was out by 10 feet. I don't know how he called him safe in the first place. He almost knocked his glove off.
Joe Girardi's only been thrown out of one game this year. It was by this first base umpire, Paul Emmett. And we'll see how heated Joe Girardi gets. I'm with you. I mean, it sure looked like the tag was just fine. I don't know if I've ever seen an umpire on his own basically say, oh, yeah, you know what, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know if it was on his own. The home plate umpire was walking toward him. It might have been on his own, or he might have gotten some indication from the home plate umpire.
And the way that Girardi's now addressing Estabrook, I think you're right, Tom.
Berkman wasn't even running.
No. And now Girardi's right up in the face of his home plate umpire, Estabrook. Well, that's closer, actually, than you and I might have thought.
I think he's touching him right there.
Yeah, you're right. Joe Girardi escorted back by his bench coach, Tony Pena.
Elvis made a beautiful pickup on the play. Then he got a little careless with the throw. Instead of coming up, taking a step toward first and throwing it, he came up and just threw it softly, and it got away from him.
And it appeared Berkman got a little careless with his running.
Yeah, I don't think Berkman was running fast until late. It's a smash. Berkman sees this, figures he's out by a mile. Now he starts running, and there's the tag right there.
Cervelli lines one into the crowd. So check this out, how quickly he slides up.
That's a beautiful play. He thought he was out too, and he was.
Upon further review, now more conventionally, Elvis loading up, firing. Yeah, chest high this time, 2 down.
And I think the key is after you catch the ball to get your feet underneath you and take a couple of steps toward first base to help the momentum and the accuracy of the throw. And he did it with that one. Pretty amazing when you look at the job Elvis has done defensively this year and all the spectacular plays he's made, and then how steady he's made. For a 22-year-old, 12 errors at this point in the season is pretty remarkable.
And actually, he won't even be 22 for 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's not 22 yet. Stretching a little bit. Played most of the season at age 21. To have 12 errors 4 months and a week into the season is excellent.
Well, we've heard for a couple of years now how Elvis has looked up to Derek Jeter. That's the guy he always aspired to be. And we should point out that when Jeter was 21, he made 31 errors. Still in AAA at that point.
Now, most kids Elvis's age, if they're coming into the draft, and let's say you're talking about the best college shortstops that you could possibly draft, that's about how old they'd be, and they'd be a year or two away from the big leagues. And they definitely would not be making 12 or 15 errors in the minor leagues.
Strike 2 to Gardner. Gardner, from back in April when the Rangers and Yankees last played, boy, he was a real pest in that series. The Yankees swept that series. The Rangers scored only 6 runs total in those 3 games. They haven't had another 3-game series this year where that's happened to them. CJ pitched in one of those games. That was a rain-shortened game. He actually got a complete game out of it, lasting only 6 innings. Little outside. Chipped into the air. Michael Young in pursuit. Won't get there. As of this morning, there were only about 4,000 seats available still for this game, a Tuesday night game. The 3-2 pitch. And Gardner lost it in the air to right center. Hamilton was playing in. He's got to go back and back. He will make the catch on the track.
Pretty good at bat for Gardner against one of the toughest lefties in the league.
The Rangers and the Yankees still scoreless. Then Nelson Cruz and David Murphy against the right-hander A.J. Burnett. Again, last time out for Burnett, he allowed 8 runs. Vladdy greets him by sailing one into right. 1 pitch, 1 out. We bring on Emily Jones.
Well, guys, stop me if you've heard any of these. 1 game at a time. Don't pay attention to your opponent, only yourself. Don't scoreboard watch. Don't pay attention to the standings.
A Rolling Stone gathers no moss.
We all know these are sports cliches, and so do the Rangers. But this is the mantra they live by this entire season, from day one, win, lose, or draw. So our Geico quote of the day is, how does Ron Washington continue that philosophy in the clubhouse, even when his team is up 8 games in the AL West in mid-August?
Every day we prepare about who we're going to face today, and the only thing that matters is what's in front of us today. We can't do anything but learn from what happened in the past and, try to take some experience away from what's going to happen today. That's all you can do. If you start to get ahead of yourself, you start to missing out on too much, and we don't need to miss out on too much. We just need to deal with what's in front of us.
Obviously, it's a philosophy that's worked for these Texas Rangers. I talked to Michael Young about it earlier today. He says part of that is the fact that they are 8 games up. They're comfortable where they are, but they've worked hard to get there. They feel good about it, but they know there's still much more to be accomplished. So while it all sounds cliche, and we've all heard it 1,000 times before, this team is truly living it, and they have been so since day one, regardless of if the Yankees are in town or anybody else that might roll into Arlington, guys.
Thank you, Em. And yeah, it helps that the Rangers have been up by either 7.5, 8, or 8.5. One of those numbers each of the last 15 days. It really hasn't changed hardly at all.
Cliche has a negative connotation to it, but the reason they have become cliches is because in sports those questions have been asked for 100 years. And basically, all those things that the Rangers just said, yeah, they are cliches, but they're basic truths. Those are the answers that have developed over time when sports teams and personalities have been asked the same type of question, because they're true. It's not that it's a meaningless statement that players are tossing out. You've just heard it so much because it's a basic truth of sports. That's how you have to handle those situations.
A ball, 2 strikes to David Murphy, who was one of the players to admit that it would be nice to make a statement against the Yankees these couple of days.
You know, you try to think of how else you would answer that question.
Yeah.
Well, I've ordered my postseason tickets. I've got plane tickets for all my friends and relatives that I'm flying in from the Dominican Republic.
Here's where my kids
because
are gonna
I
sit,
know
right?
we're going to postseason play. We've got a 7-game lead, and it's going to be a cakewalk from here on in. You know, there's only so many ways you can answer that question.
Another thing not to do is what Brandon Phillips said today about the St. Louis Cardinals, but we're not going to go there.
That's not a good idea. That doesn't do anybody any good.
As
Except maybe your ego for 5 seconds until you realize, uh-oh. At least hopefully you realize, uh-oh.
Well, Benji Molina's brother Yadier today, I guess, or tonight, in Cincinnati, took it upon himself to defend his St. Louis Cardinals, who were called something rather unflattering by Brandon Phillips. I think Benji probably would have done the same thing to Brandon Phillips, is my guess. Strike 3. Cervelli was sprinting back to the dugout before Estabrook had made the call. No score, end of 2. Ranger Baseball being brought to you by the Ford F-150. Ford is the best in Texas. By Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. And by AT&T. See what's new from AT&T. Go to att.com for details. Big crowd to watch the Rangers and the Yankees tonight. And so far, scoreless into the 3rd. Ramiro Pena playing in place of Robinson Cano tonight at second base is going to lead off in the 3rd. Cano a bit under the weather, and I guess if he needs a day off, it's only his second day off all year. Left-hand batter, why not take a seat against C.J. Wilson?
Well, based on the track record that C.J.'s had, it's probably not a bad idea. Left-hand hitters have not fared well. Well, Brett Gardner sure had a good at bat last time up. If Josh Hamilton made the same kind of contact, it might have gone over the green grass in center field. He gave it a pretty good ride. Josh ran it down right at the warning track, though.
Pena's going to pop one, sending Guzman back and Hamilton on with Cruz. Look out, it's Hamilton in front of Cruz. One down in the inning, and folks, you can visit the official online shop of the Rangers, TexasRangers.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for the whole family. TexasRangers.com, where to go. As Derek Jeter comes to the plate. Last year at the age of 35, a .334 batting average and 30 steals. On into the postseason, kept on swinging the bat, and the Yankees indeed won their 27th championship. Jeter's behind 0-2. He struck out in the first inning.
Got a curveball right there. Very well located.
In the Exmo camera. You like that Exmo? It's like a super slow-mo.
That's great. Yeah, you can really, I think that the thing that really looks interesting on that shot is the ball and the spin of the ball.
I bet we'll see that again at some point before the night is done.
The first one I saw, I said there's no spin on that ball, and I realized what it was. How slow the camera action was on that, so there's not going to be much spin when the ball's going that slowly.
That's what Exmo does to the shot. The Elmo camera turns everything all red and fuzzy. High chop. Wilson is going to sprint to the bag and dive! And he got there in time!
I hope he's all right. That's giving it up for an out right there, boy.
That seems a bit like playoff fever right there. And everybody gave C.J. Wilson the antlers right there for speed. But now you got to make sure C.J.'s okay. Yeah, he just gave him the antlers back.
He couldn't get to the bag on his feet. And so he dives head first, slams into the bag, and fortunately didn't get stepped on as Jeter comes across the bag and somehow avoided him.
What a great shot, and thank you, CJ, for not diving with your bare hand.
Wow.
See, pitchers can get the antlers too and give them. Now that's
Did CJ give him before he got him?
Well, he got him all right, but I think he gave him almost immediately.
Yeah.
So there's no way. I mean, that's some presence of mind. Look at this. He's going to dive. He's going to get a future Hall of Famer out and then up with the antlers right away. Ball, toss, antlers.
Yeah, see, he gave those before he got them. He had no idea they were giving him from the dugout.
That's some panache right there.
He didn't even look in the dugout.
They never even cracked a smile. Oh, by the way, I got to flash the antlers here. Excuse me.
Well, there's easier ways to do it than that, but that was very nice.
Now a strike to Swisher. You think on the Yankees broadcast they're going, what did he just do?
I don't
What
think they would have noticed it. We noticed it because we're looking for it. I don't think they would have noticed it. And if they did, they probably would have gone, what?
I mean, if you don't know, it's like, you're doing the whole nanny boo-boo thing, just kind of waving your hands at the other guy. That's not it.
I don't think the Yankee broadcasters could have looked at that and go, ooh, wow, he gave him the antlers. They might have said, why did he lift his hands up in the air?
Swisher will back out. It's among the reasons it's become, I think, for a lot of people here in this area, so much fun to follow the Rangers this year. I don't see another team in baseball doing the claw and the antlers. Swisher usually works that count pretty deep. Can also hit the ball pretty deep. He's got 22 home runs. Swisher took an 0 for 5 yesterday for the Yankees at 2-1 loss to Boston. The Red Sox hanging in there. They're 6 back. Tampa Bay 1.5 behind New York. C.J. Wilson struck him out. There was the defense and the speed of C.J. as well. No score, bottom of the third coming up. The Rangers have another big game, of course, against the Yankees tomorrow. You can enjoy all-you-can-eat seating, get an upper home run porch ticket, plus all-you-can-eat and some ballpark favorites for only $39. Purchase in advance. These tickets are going quickly. TexasRangers.com is where to go. Sponsored by Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. Jorge Cantu, a wave and a miss. He has never had a hit against A.J. Burnett, 0 for 12. Cantu and Guzman, the two most recent Ranger additions. They will both bat this inning. I saw a quote today from Jorge, Tom, where he said, all of a sudden I feel like I've got some added energy. And he pointed out what I think is obvious after that. It's because he's with a team that's 8 games up.
Yeah, I think that'll do it for you.
Every other division race is exactly that. It's a race. The Yankees and Tampa Bay separated by a game and a half. Chicago and Minnesota tied. In the NL, all 3 divisions, somebody's a game or a game and a half behind somebody else. Teams like Boston and Detroit, and obviously Oakland and the Angels right now in that kind of 6 to 8 games out. Detroit's case 9 games out. Hinterland at this point. Pretty close to the time where you really have to make a run. Something like 17 out of 20. 2-2 now from A.J. Burnett. A guy who keeps a framed picture of Nolan Ryan in his locker for inspiration. And speaking of which, it should all become official by the beginning of that Red Sox series on Friday. That is your ownership group right there. Nolan Ryan and Chuck Greenberg. When there is a made-for-TV movie, that courtroom scene, I bet, is going to be the best scene of the whole thing.
12 Angry Men, then do the remake.
It sounds like there were more than 12.
Start with 12.
Start with the two lead lawyers.
Many angry men. But when it was all over and done with, there was a lot of happy men, too.
Benji Molina, a rip and a miss. And obviously deep into the Tarrant County night did that thing go. The Rangers were playing all the while out in Seattle. From where we sat, the sidebar story was back here. I'm sure it was exactly the other way for anybody actually in the Metroplex that night. The Rangers prevailed. Nolan and Chuck prevailed. And most everybody seemed quite happy with all that. Benji Molina base hit, the first for the Rangers tonight.
Oh, hit a good pitch, too. Hit a sinker down. Might have been a strike. Probably wouldn't have been called a strike. He hit it pretty well into center field. Rangers so far have gotten the good. A.J. Burnett has been throwing the ball really well tonight. That pitch is maybe a strike, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Hit pretty well, though. Talked about his last start against Toronto. 8 hits, 8 runs in 4 1/3. Tonight, I'm sure he's throwing a lot better than he was that night.
Slightly new look here for Christian Guzman. He has traded uniform numbers to begin things tonight. Matt Trainer has given him that number 15. Emily Jones will have more on that later. Anybody who rushed out to buy a Guzman 12 jersey would be sorely disappointed. Guzman, I think it's pretty easily forgotten because it was so long ago, Tom. He was originally Yankees property. Guzman going to Minnesota in that Chuck Knobloch deal way back in 1998. Guzman holding down the fort at second base until Ian Kinsler is ready. And Ian had the MRI performed on him today by Dr. Keith Meister. It sounds like another week or so before Ian will be able to swing the bat. He's been cleared to jog and do things like that.
Boy, beautiful play by Chevelle. That curveball was in the other batter's box, and he shifted his weight. He was really quick.
Yep.
He runs well for a catcher, but
very limber.
He's also very quick behind the plate. Watch how far he shifts his weight to block that ball that was about a foot inside. Very nice job.
On 2-2. Taken for a called third strike. That's 3 strikeouts, 1 through the order for Burnett.
Oh, well located pitch. Some breaking balls and a fastball right in the inside corner. Good pitch. Perfect pitch.
Well, so far, and you mentioned it, Tom, it's either the good A.J. or the bad A.J. So far, it's been the good A.J.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball really well tonight.
Good news is, so is C.J. Wilson going the other way. So
yep. pitched a good game against the Rangers at Yankee Stadium. 7 innings. Didn't give up a run in that game.
Dueling one-hitters right now, so the initial returns, if you will, are very good for both guys. Last time Burnett pitched here was last May, and he was really good. 6 innings of 3-hit shutout ball. Tried to steer it to the outside corner, didn't get it there. Might have gotten it there, just didn't get the call. Into the crowd she goes, 2-2. Tomorrow night, if you don't yet have your tickets, you can get them right now at TexasRangers.com. There's only a few thousand left. It's going to be Cliff Lee, not for the Yankees, but against the Yankees. Everybody, including Cliff Lee, on July the 9th, thought he'd be in the pinstripes. Didn't happen. Close, but no. 3-2.
Elvis has had a good at bat as far as getting the calls go.
Benji Molina will get going. And a grounder to short. Jeter across the diamond to end the inning, scoreless at the end of 3. For their support of the Mansfield Youth Baseball Association. For more info on Chevy's commitment to Youth League Baseball, go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com.
Josh had a few people to say hello to tonight. Get started on that. Ron and Suzanne Birch are celebrating their 42nd wedding anniversary at the ball game tonight. I'd like to mention that. Also, Kathy and Benny Stallings from Amarillo are here with Larry and Ann Payne. They say they love the broadcast, and they brought us a pound cake for their appreciation.
They did a nice job.
Nice.
Yep, thank you.
Got that all stored away in the refrigerator for tomorrow.
Marcus Thames to lead off the inning. Again, Mark Teixeira not here. Probably won't be here tomorrow. The expectation is he'll rejoin the Yankees when they go to Kansas City. And Teixeira's having their 3rd child this morning. A boy named William.
And Kelly Green. I love that name.
Well, it's also a
Also
descriptive.
color,
yeah, right.
Kelly Green is having a birthday today, and on her birthday, she sent us pralines.
On
which
her
was pretty
birthday?
nice. I hope someone sent her something nice for her birthday. But happy birthday, Kelly.
Foul by Marcus Thames, 1 and 2.
I got a real nice note from Benny Stallings, a friend of ours from Amarillo. Thank you, Benny. Sent up a picture that was taken in Amarillo of my good friend Bill Hayes. Passed away recently. Everyone in Amarillo knows who Bill Hayes is, that's for sure. Well, CJ's got the curveball working. Struck out Swisher on one and gets Marcus Thames right here. Mostly hard stuff early in the game, and he's going to a little bit softer variety of pitches. Got the curveball down and away. Nice pitch.
In your Exmo vision here. Hey, by the way, guess who's batting now?
Alex?
What gave it away?
The loud chorus of boos.
A walk in the first inning for Alex. Swing and strike right here. This is a down season with only 17 home runs, but we mentioned the last one was number 600 of his career.
Well, he's still on pace, as is Mark Teixeira, to knock in about 120 runs.
On the ground to short, and there's Elvis Andrus. High throw. Elvis might be a little overamped. It's a couple of throws that normally he doesn't make that he has made it tonight. Easy play. And Alex Rodriguez grimacing, I guess, as he collided with Cantu.
Yeah, and this one, Elvis is very aggressive. He fields it on the run, and instead of just flipping it, takes his steps and just throws it high.
Wasn't sure what Alex was reacting to there. To get something in the eye, maybe?
Must have hit his back of Cantu's head. Must have hit Alex's face.
Well, the error allows Austin Kearns to bat with a runner on. Take another look here at first base. Kearns hit the ball on the ground last time to Elvis Andrus. This time he's going to hit it beyond Elvis, just dunking it into left. Murphy will play it, and it's 2 on, 1 out. Chance for Lance Berkman. Berkman, a switch hitter, and swinging the bat right-handed this year, it has not gone well for him. But again, a 185 hitting Lance Berkman, which is pretty much what he is as a righty. Probably better than most lefties will be doing anyway. Again, CJ. .179 is a Yankee, but with the Astros, 245, 13 home runs. Strike one. The Yankees have won 14 of their last 19 on the road. But we've talked about how the Rangers have performed so well here at home. We gave the stat off the top tonight. Tom CJ, 8-2 at the ballpark this year. Overall, he's 10-5. ERA of 3.3. On the road here, the Yankees have done very well. As you might remember, you might not know the stat off the top of your head, but if you've been kind of watching what's been happening here the last several years, well, New York has won 14 of the last 19 when they have played here in Arlington. Runners both going. The double steal attempt. Molina gets it down there. The ball coming out. A-Rod diving in. Michael Young couldn't hold it. It was going to be the second out of the inning. And only the 4th steal all year for A-Rod.
Oh, it keeps the Yankees out of the double play. The Rangers have missed 2 chances to get Rodriguez in this inning. Easy ground ball to shortstop. And now a play at third base. Not an easy play for Michael, though. The ball bounced. Molina's throw does a nice job to scoop it out of the dirt. And just couldn't keep it in his glove when he made the tag.
Infield's going to stay back with a 1-2 count on Berkman.
No stolen base. E5.
But CJ needed that, and he did it. He strikes out Berkman.
His last 3 strikeouts, which have come in the last 6 hitters, have all been on curveballs.
Quick release from Benji Molina on that attempted double steal. And you're right, they're going to score it an E5, not a stolen base.
He got rid of it quickly, but the ball bounced. If the throw is in the air, it's an easy out, but Michael couldn't keep it in his glove after he scooped the ball out of the dirt. No damage done, though, if he can get Cervelli right here. Big strikeout right there.
Of these 2 guys, Wilson and Burnett, Burnett's the guy who's really known for the curveball. He throws his curveball a lot. CJ's has maybe been more productive so far tonight. We should mention, too, that CJ threw 3 innings tonight, Tom, but thrown only 45 pitches. Last time through 3, it was 85.
Yeah, it was a game where he just didn't have any command and also wasn't feeling very well.
Ooh, that one was close. Didn't get it.
Tracker says he should have had it.
Yep. Instead of 0-2, it's 1-1. That one definitely outside. The pesky Brett Gardner on deck. Now, Cervelli doesn't have a home run, but he's got 31 runs batted in as a part-time player, so you figured his numbers with runners in scoring position would be real good. Outfield straight up for him. High fly ball. C.J. Wilson gets it done.
2 errors in the inning, but no damage done.
Hamilton locks it up. No score. Rangers and Yankees.
before. No score between the Rangers and the Yankees. A quick injury update for you on Ian Kinsler. He had that left groin, an MRI done on it today. It did reveal some improvement, but also still some inflammation. So he will not pick up a baseball bat until at least another week. The new timetable for his return is now late August and perhaps even early September, gentlemen.
Well, I think, thank you, Emily. It goes into the subheading of better safe than sorry right now. The Rangers want to make sure they've got Kinsler going strong in late September on into October.
Yeah, you know, when he first did it, it didn't appear like it would be this long of a deal, which is really unfortunate for Ian and the Rangers.
Well, and, you know, back to spring training, it was a high ankle sprain, and the initial report was, oh, he's going to need a day or two. Then it became a week, then it became 2 weeks, and suddenly it was April 30th.
Yeah, things just turned out to be a little worse than it looked like initially, evidently.
Keep that guy over his right shoulder healthy, too. Healthy and happy.
Well, he's happy.
Uh-huh. That
sure like to see him wearing that same tee sometime around April 4th next year.
No, that has been already proclaimed by the new ownership group as a job they're going to take on. There'll be a lot of teams that'll back up a Brinks truck and say, here you go, Cliff. But if he's comfortable here, likes the team, likes the atmosphere, likes the area, and has already gotten used to it, that is definitely a plus. Michael Young bops one in a right base hit.
One thing about Michael, you mentioned it, Josh, he's been a little bit of a slump. Was a 4 for 34 or something like that. All that means is the hits are about to come in abundance. And maybe that's a good start right there. It's a good breaking ball away. Get a good look at the way he holds that breaking ball with a kind of a spike breaking ball with his first finger bent. Michael hits that into right field.
At 480 frames per second, we are told, on that Exmo camera. Here's Hamilton. Up and away. I know how you like that OPS stat tag, the on-base percentage plus slugging.
Yeah.
And Josh's right now would be second all-time in the history of this franchise, behind Rocky's 1999. Just another way to say it's been a really good year.
Yeah, when that OPS number, slugging percentage plus on base percentage, is over 1,000, you're doing something. Rafi had the 1,050. Alex had 2 of them, and Juan had one over 1,000 as well.
Hamilton hits it high, majestically towards center. But it will not quite get to the track.
He just barely got underneath that ball.
Young heading into second base. Challenging Gardner, who's got 8 assists already this year, and he beat that throw.
Yeah, if you have speed, you should be able to beat that throw. It's right near the warning track in center field. That's a long throw. And it's good base running by Michael. A good play to tag up on. Very seldom is a big league outfielder going to drop this ball. So you might as well tag up and see what happens. You see Josh is going to hit that ball right on the good part of the bat. Maybe a little bit toward the end of the bat, actually. But still, as strong as he is, if he didn't hit it quite so high, might have had enough to get it out of there. First runner the Rangers have had in scoring position. They've only had one other runner. That was Molina.
You were just talking about Michael Young being ready to maybe bust out. And the hope with Vlad Guerrero is kind of a similar time, that maybe this is the calm before the storm is what we've seen.
Well, judging on what they've done all season long and the little bit of a lull that they're in now, you would think they're about ready to get really hot.
Vlad has not had a batting average under 300 since the 4th inning of opening day, when he was 0 for 1. But if he cannot get a hit here, then he will indeed be under 300. Made some contact that time. Burnett not going away from the game plan here.
This is the swing Vladdy had on the road trip when he actually put a ball in play in the same location with the same swing. You see the curveball tumbling in there.
Burnett just kept going there, and Vladdy couldn't help himself. The one before that, he at least tipped it. Unable to do it that time. We'll get you to the trivia question now. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, brought to you by AT&T. John Burkett won that first playoff game in Ranger history. The only one so far. Who was on the losing end of that for the New Yorkers? It took until 1996 for the Rangers to finally make the postseason, going back to their days in Washington. Nelly Cruz hammers one. Alley, left center. That ball gets down. Rangers take the lead. Nelson Cruz with an RBI. 1-0.
I like the flags out center field for Texas flavor to it.
Running of the Lone Star flags. Thank you, Chuck Morgan, for that idea. Nelson Cruz, first pitch, just jumps on it.
That breaking ball right down the middle of the plate. That's the one Vladdy was looking for.
Well, Cruz, who had had a tough road trip, 6 out of 31, delivers.
I'll make the call right here. David?
We have learned not to mess with the Murph.
That's right.
Getting all kinds of playing time now.
I've been leaving my call on the bench too often. Getting lazy.
Runner going second to third. Cervelli couldn't get the handle. Nelson Cruz stealing third.
Oh, Yankees had a little, well, it actually didn't turn into a stolen base, turned into an error. And so with 2 outs, it's a play you have to be sure you can make it, because the advantage you gain is not worth the risk unless you know you can make it. But with a guy like Burnett and that curveball, you're on third base, you can score on a wild pitch if he bounces one there. He's bounced a lot of them so far, but Cervelli's done a great job of blocking them.
Stolen base number 15 for Cruz. Good jump. The 2-1 to Murphy. Outside. Cantu on deck. Taking a walk.
I think he was pitching carefully there, David. Burnett is probably aware that Jorge has struggled against him a little bit. And righty-righty matchup is a little more favorable for him than the righty-lefty matchup.
And for the first time, A.J. Burnett gets some company on the mound. Dave Island out to talk to him. It would appear right now, Tag, there's only about 1,000 empty seats, if that, at the ballpark. That very upper part of left field, there's a little patch, but other than that, everything is completely filled in.
Yeah, the crowds have been just spectacular. Last homestand was great. Angel series was tremendous. No, the Yankee series and the Red Sox series are going to be excellent as far as attendance goes.
Only 2,500 reserve seats available for tomorrow to see Cliff Lee against the Yankees. TexasRangers.com, where you go to grab them. Cantu looking for his first Ranger RBI. Had plenty of them as a Florida Marlin, second on that team. The last 2 years coming into this year, Tag, he was averaging 98 runs batted in per season. So this is absolutely the kind of guy you want up here. Problem is, and we articulated it last time up, he's never had a hit against Burnett.
He came at him with 2 fastballs, 2 pretty good pitches to hit, and got ahead in the count now, 0-2.
Buckling back, Cantu. Nelson Cruz with the RBI double with 2 out in the inning, and the Rangers have scored the only run so far. Murphy goes, and no throw. Walking on into second base. So the Rangers stealing twice in this inning. It's the 7th of the year for Murphy.
Well, Blooper scores 2 now.
Well, let's see if Cantu can find that renewed energy he was talking about right here, right now in this at bat. Down and in. Benji Molina would be next. On the ground, left side, Jeter. Planting, throwing. Got him. Rangers strand 2, but score 1. They're the first to dent the scoreboard tonight. C.J. Wilson's got that 1-0 lead thanks to Nelson Cruz. John Burkett won the only, so far, playoff game in Ranger history. Who did he beat? David Cohn gave up the homers to Wando and Dean Palmer. There was one more RBI in that game, as I recall. Who might have driven in the 6th run in that game?
Well,
Mark McLemore, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
wow.
You contributed mightily to the Game 1 win. Thank you for doing that.
I'll take it.
Welcome to the broadcast, Mac. Rangers live after the ball game, by the way, to hear more from Mac. And you got to love this atmosphere.
This is great. This is playoff atmosphere. You've got the Yankees in town. They're in first place. Rangers are in first place. CJ's throwing an outstanding game, and A.J. Burnett's throwing the ball pretty well, too. So this is what you want. This is what it's about right here.
Good curveball for CJ.
Yeah,
great curveball today.
I was going to say, we were talking about Burnett's curveball at the top of the broadcast, and it looks to me, Mac, like CJ is using his even more than A.J. Burnett.
He's mixing it up, and I think this is something that the Yankees aren't really expecting right now. Normally, CJ likes to stick with his fastball or slider or cut fastball, and he's mixed in that curveball and keeping them off balance a little bit.
Some jawing from Brett Gardner here. Wilson made that defensive play that had everybody buzzing, diving for the bag. Check out this pitch. Yeah,
it's a strike.
It's a pretty good pitch.
I don't know how Gardner knew where that pitch was. He's halfway to first base.
Lays off of this one.
That's a tough pitch for a guy that's walking out to bunt, for him to really know whether it's a ball or a strike, especially if you keep your head looking at the pitcher. Your whole strike zone changes. You're moving. Your eyes are bouncing. So it's difficult for that batter to say, "Oh, that was out of the strike zone," unless he follows the ball all the way in.
I bet you that's a strike too.
That one was close. It's been not a completely consistent strike zone, to be honest, yet for Mr. Estabrook.
Technically, it's a little bit high. You won't see that called a strike very often.
Number 1 better have been a strike.
Yeah, hitters don't like number 2 being called a strike.
No, that was not my favorite pitch.
The 2-2 to Gardner. A little bit outside, and this guy is not the guy you want on base. This guy loves to run.
Gardner has walked 49 times this year. He's got a good on-base percentage. He's a tough out. Good hitter.
That's it. Strike 3.
Should have swung at that one, though.
I don't think he had a chance.
He's seen some breaking balls. He'd seen some pitches around the strike zone. And it was almost like he wasn't ready for this fastball.
No, it looks like he was looking for a breaking pitch. You know, CJ's throwing the ball pretty well, 92, 93. And he's behind it there, and that just makes you think that he was looking for something off speed.
That's 5 strikeouts for C.J. Wilson. And, Mac, I want to ask you about a couple of Ranger players in the lineup. Vlad Guerrero right now obviously not doing what we're accustomed to seeing him do in terms of driving the ball consistently. Are you worried at all, or is this just one of those little couple-week, 3-week melts that everybody's going to have?
Not worried at all. He's gonna find it. He's going to continue to work hard. He's been through it before. You don't become a veteran player by not going through this and coming out of it, and Vlad's going to come out of it. He's got a positive attitude. He's not worried about it. Look at him. He's just sitting there waiting for his next time up, and that's what he's thinking. It's going to happen the next time.
Yeah, it's a good way of saying it, Mac. You don't become a veteran player. You become an ex-player if you can't come out of those things.
Absolutely.
2-0 the count to Ramiro Pena, number 9 hitter. The other guy I want to ask you about, Mac, is Elvis Andrus. And, you know, we've seen him make a couple of throws tonight that are not really Elvis-like. Is there anything to this atmosphere and just being a little bit too pumped up, or is that just circumstantial maybe?
I don't know that he's too pumped up. You know, I just think it's one of those things where he just has to, believe it or not, I think he needs to just probably concentrate a little bit more and go after everything like he's trying to make that spectacular play. A lot of his mistakes are made on the routine play, and that's what he really has to get himself ready for and ready to make every single time.
Pena curls one to right, and if you've got a question for Mark McLemore, by the way, you can ask the analyst by texting your question to 57538 with the keyword Mac.
Well, I want to take a minute and wish Krista a happy birthday. I visited with Krista earlier in the ball game.
Nice.
So, Krista, happy birthday, and everybody in the Ernie Banks suite. She thought I was going to forget that, too, by the way.
Well, you waited till 2 out, but... Here's Derek Jeter.
Well, I wanted her to watch. You know?
Yeah,
if you said it right off the bat, she might have left and gone on some deed. which she's probably on her way to do right now, but that's okay.
No, I don't want to miss a Jeter at bat, do you? Wilson against Jeter. That's
People
been
flashing their cameras at that one.
Yeah. Some good theater tonight between Wilson and Jeter. Jeter took a called third strike that he didn't like in the first, and then Wilson diving at the bag to get Jeter in the third.
I'll tell you, it's got to be something to play on a team. Every time you go on the road, you pack the house, but everybody hates you.
That's the good and the bad, I guess.
Right.
Although, as usual, there's some Yankee Nation representing tonight, but boy, it sure doesn't seem like as much as usual, does it?
No, it doesn't, and I am so happy to see that. I'm sure the players appreciate it as well.
No, it is not the year for the Yankee fans to take over this ballpark. Ranger fans are so proud of what they've got here. Count has gone to 3-0 to Jeter. Now 3-1. His next hit, by the way, he's going to get past the Hall of Famer Mel Ott on the all-time hits list. He'll be at 2,877. He'll be alone in 38th place all-time. This is a walk. Last time he went to first base, it was a little bit more dramatic. Our Coors Light Freeze Cam will take you back. What do you think about C.J. Wilson diving in here, Mac?
That's something you don't want to see a pitcher do. Great play. CJ's an athlete, though, but you really don't want to see that pitcher laying out doing things like that.
What about the antlers at the end, though?
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. I like everybody getting into it.
Style points for that.
He's got to work on it a little bit, though.
Pitchers aren't usually called on to say, look how speedy I just was.
You know, he made that play look pretty easy. Most pitchers can't make that play. They won't make that play. So that was an outstanding play on CJ's part.
I haven't seen CJ's expression change once in this game tonight.
I like it. I like it. He's staying in his game plan. He's not coming out of it. He's not letting his emotions.
Whoa! And actually, just as you're talking about it, that's something we don't see. Wilson just kind of lollipopped that throw, and Cantu couldn't bring it down. It's a third Ranger error tonight.
Oh, no damage done if you get Swisher right here.
Go get him.
And Cantu walking in. If he had been on the bag, he probably was able to leap up and make that catch. It was a step in towards CJ. So now that tying man in scoring position. And Swisher belts one into center. Hamilton racing back at the track, turning around and can't find him. It's off the base of the wall. Swisher comes through. The Yankees have tied it up. A two-out walk, an error, and then Nick Swisher.
Yeah, well hit ball by Swisher off the bat. You're just saying stay in the ballpark. Fastball up, out over the plate. Drove it pretty well to dead center. And Jeter probably, if the same ball is hit with Jeter on first, Jeter probably would have scored from first base anyway.
Hamilton had a long way to run, and he turned over his left shoulder. I don't think he's going to get it even if he turns over his right.
No, that's just a double.
Marcus Thames, so good against left-hand pitching, settles into the box. There's now 1 run, 3 hits both ways. It's only the 5th time this year the Rangers have made 3 errors in a game. And this game, unfortunately, not even halfway done yet. So obviously that's something they got to shore up.
It looked like it was going to be a nice quick inning for CJ. Strikeout, little line drive to right field.
Into the hole, a base hit. Murphy's going to charge it. He's going to come up firing. Molina's waiting for it. There's the tag! They got it!
That's some kind of play by Molina.
Pickett,
How did he catch that ball?
That's a big league catcher right there.
That trade's looking better and better and better.
Swisher knew not to try to bowl over the catcher, that's for sure.
Murphy to Molina, and the inning is over.
Like swatting a mosquito.
Check the scoop.
Pickett.
Tag him. Max, thank you, buddy.
You got it, baby.
1-1 tie. But the Yankees tried him out. David Murphy's throw was short hopped by Benji Molina. And the tag applied to some great applause here. And now Benji Molina will lead things off in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's a 1-1 tie. The Yankees poised to take a 2-1 lead had Benji not been, as Ron Washington always likes to say, a pickin' machine. Strike one from A.J. Burnett.
Yeah, you almost need a first baseman's mitt, which the catcher's glove for a lot of catchers has almost become to make that play. Benji's looking at Swisher like, what are you trying to do, man? Swisher's smiling. He knew Benji's like a rock at home plate. There's no way he was going to move him if he tried to run into him. I don't blame Swisher for going in the way he did. It's just a beautiful play by Benji, though, to pick that ball.
You're right. Benji had that look like you're kidding me, right? You try to score on me like that? Poked into the crowd by Benji. Oh, come on, really?
Nice try.
Bye-bye. The 0-2. Inside. Guzman on deck, and then Andrews.
Oh, Swisher's, I love watching Swisher play. He's got a great attitude, and he had a big smile on his face. He knew there was nothing he could do about it.
He's got that swagger to him, too. He's waved goodbye to some others in the past. When he was in Oakland, he was probably the league's most creative player when it came time to finding ways to get on TV and get noticed. Would dye his facial hair. He would pull off the Captain Morgan pose with his teammates in the dugout. That's been toned down a bit since he's arrived in New York. Molina clubs one. It goes to the track. And Gardner's going to get it.
Gardner got to that ball so quick he almost overran it. Had to reach back to catch it. Gardner's got great speed, quickness in the outfield.
We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Josh. Tension's also running over in the stands. You got Josh and Charles Calvert, father and son, have a friendly wager on the game. Charles, a big-time Yankee fan. Josh, Rangers, what do you have on it?
The loser gets to buy the steak dinner, and then they're taking the bus home to Edmond, and I'm driving.
Edmond, Oklahoma. All right, well, best of luck to you, Josh. Best of luck.
Tensions running high.
Father's outnumbered out there.
Yeah.
Better sit down, Dad.
Guzman ahead in the count 1-0. Loud noises, 1-1. And Andrews in the on-deck circle. Burnett, the former Marlin and Blue Jay. Blue Jays tonight, by the way, tied 5-5 with Boston in the 7th. Mentioned Boston on the fringes of the race in the AL East. The Yankees and Tampa Bay within a game and a half of each other. The Rangers up 8 in the West. Cliff Lee against Javier Vasquez tomorrow, 7:05 first pitch. Then a day off Thursday, and the Red Sox move in over the weekend. Then the Rangers hit the road. Guzman, a grounder towards second. Out number 2. Folks, you can save 50% with a double play combo from the Rangers and Six Flags. It includes a lower box ticket to a non-Premier Ranger game and an adult ticket to Six Flags. $100 value for only $50. This is in play when the Rangers and the Twins go at it later in the month. For more information, call 972-RANGERS or go to TexasRangers.com. Very close to a sellout tonight. And the possibility of one tomorrow, again with Cliff Lee taking on the Yankees. A few thousand seats remaining for Friday and Saturday. A little bit more than that for the Sunday afternoon game. But TexasRangers.com, a good place to go to make sure you're in. One Arkansas native tonight, that's Burnett. Cliff Lee, Arkansas native tomorrow for the Rangers. It really has been the anticipated pitcher's duel so far tonight, Burnett and C.J. Wilson. Bunting on 2-0. Elvis Andrews is going to just let A-Rod watch it. Alex just kind of pulled up and said, yeah, that's a bunt base hit.
Well, you get a man on, who knows? Maybe you steal a base. Maybe Michael drives one into the gap to score a run. Most of Elvis's hits are singles. There's not much difference between driving a base hit to right field or laying one down the third baseline.
That was true in the 50s, too. Most of Elvis's hits were singles.
Yeah. Well, some albums that were pretty good hits, though.
Well, that's true. Only 5 extra base hits for Elvis his last 53 games. But you're right. I mean, he singles and then steals second. It's kind of the same thing as a double.
Well, we had mentioned that stat earlier, how easy Burnett is to steal on. And so here's a good opportunity to try to do just that. Nelly stole third in the 4th inning. That's really the first time that the Rangers have had someone on first base with a good opportunity to try to steal a base.
Yeah, Burnett's allowed 26 of them this year, and boy, Cervelli making sure that didn't get back to the net. If A-Rod's playing there, I guess Elvis figures he can just put it about there. Young fouls it. Well, base hit to right for Michael last time. Hopefully the start is something big for him. He had been 4 for his previous 39. See if he can get on base somehow, give Josh Hamilton a shot. A-Rod is going to lead off in the 6th inning. Rangers trying to take the lead right here. Andrews not going. Michael Young taking outside. Nice, tight, tense ball game in front of a huge crowd tonight. That's been a tough pitch to get called a strike tonight. That one right on that outside corner. High fly ball. Michael got under it. Swisher in right will leave Hamilton on deck, and Alex Rodriguez coming in to hit. 1-1 tie at the end of 5. Baseball brought to you by your Texas Chevy dealers, proud sponsor of Texas baseball, by Fred Loya Insurance, where being local matters, and by Whataburger, just like you like it. The 3 errors have not factored in. The Rangers and the Yankees are tied, and Alex Rodriguez will bat now in front of this big crowd here in Arlington. The populace that once embraced him, not really doing that anymore. It sure took him a while to make some inroads in New York, too. Trying to win back the graces of baseball fans, period. There was a stretch, Tag, where Alex Rodriguez was on the back pages of the New York tabloids 21 out of 27 days, and on the front page twice. That is a lot of attention. On appeal, no swing. swing.
Have a good cutter. Alex ahead in the count. Gets what looks like a fastball, and right at the end, that late movement. Slider or cutter, whatever you want to call it. Good pitch, though.
A-Rod makes some contact. Now, say what you will, Alex Rodriguez pretty much carried the Yankees to that World Series title a year ago, and that dimmed the talk of him not being clutch. We had heard that for years. On the ground towards short. Elvis Andrus. Right on again.
Good pitch. Changeup right there. CJ hasn't thrown a lot of changeups today. That was a good one, though. Had Alex way out in front of it, hit it off the end of the bat. Nice little easy ground ball for Elvis, who comes up and makes a perfect throw to first base. Definitely keeping the ball away. And the last one is a changeup. And it's right off the end of the bat.
Right now, CJ's exactly where he was, Tom, at the end of 3 innings in Seattle in terms of pitch count. Really mixing those pitches well tonight, and walks have not been a problem. A couple of them.
Yeah, and I think you just throw out that last start. That was just an aberration. CJ's been throwing the ball real well. He'd won 3 games in a row going into that game. And again, he wasn't feeling well. Didn't have his best stuff. But he's right back where you want to see him tonight.
Ripped in a left by Kearns. Murphy with a dive. He couldn't get there. It bounces by him. And Kearns on his way to second base. That's where he will stay with a 1-out double. Well, Kearns was not this tough of an out when he was a Cleveland Indian for the Rangers, but tonight 2 for 3.
A little more of the plate than CJ wanted to get. I don't think there's much David could do to keep him from getting a double anyway, so you might as well give it a shot.
Go ahead man in scoring position. And Lance Berkman, the big Puma, will come up there against CJ now. Berkman having just been acquired from the Astros. A lot of Astro fans are still obviously quite bummed that he's not an Astro for life. Bagwell was, Biggio was. I think there was a general assumption that Berkman would be the next killer bee. You just call it forever in Houston, but it just wasn't going to happen. Second most homers in Houston Astro history, 3rd most runs scored. And a much beloved figure down there. Berkman also had that batting practice ball that struck Alex Rodriguez in the leg over the weekend. So look at O'Day and Oliver getting ready. Wilson's got the sign he wants, but missing here. 3-0 to Berkman. Cervelli on deck. About a strikeout per inning. No quarrel with that at all. And he scattered those 5 hits. Well, the Yankees have allowed exactly 2 runs in 3 straight games. The Rangers have scored exactly 2 runs in 2 straight games coming in tonight. Right now tied 1-1 in the 6th. Out in front, fouls it. Off speed on 3-1 instead of the fastball.
Yeah, CJ struck Berkman out in the 4th inning with a man on 3rd base and 1 out. Big strikeout, got him with a curveball. Pitched out of the inning when Cervelli flied out to center field.
Down and in. Well, you got the bottom 3rd of the order coming up. And Wilson has handled them tonight, 0 for 6. So that bullpen is pretty much ready. They rested bullpen because of the day off yesterday. Well, you can tell what CJ just saw.
Well, he's really struggling right now. For a lot of pitches to Rodriguez. Kearns hit the ball hard, walked Berkman. You know, he got the game on a line in a big game, and he's going to go to the right-handed reliever who's got the best chance in his mind to get the right-hand hitter out right now. CJ with 96 pitches. He did his job, threw the ball well, held the Yankees to 1 run. Deserves a nice round of applause.
You know he wants to still be in there. But now it's up to the bullpen to keep it a 1-1 tie here at the ballpark tonight. You know, Rangers starters over the last several years here, when they take on the Yankees, don't usually fare this well. There's 1 run and 5 in the 3rd. Starting pitching has been a big problem, but not tonight. CJ was great. Darren O'Day has been beyond great of late. That ERA has sunk down to 1.18. And he's got a long consecutive inning scoreless streak going right now. He's going to inherit 2 runners. He's going to have to face Francisco Cervelli.
You got a right-hand hitter, and then you've got Gardner, a left-hand hitter. You've got Darren Oliver in the bullpen. So a lot of different ways you can go. Darren has been terrific against right-handed batters. They hit 150 against him. Lefties have only hit 260, and it's higher than right-hand hitters, but solid opponent's batting average, even throwing sidearm to the left-hand hitters. So we'll see, depending on what happens here with Cervelli. whether Ron decides to stick with Darren to pitch to the left, with Darren O'Day to pitch to the left-hand hitter, whether Darren Oliver comes in to pitch to the lefty.
Or if O'Day really does his job, you get the double play.
That'd
and
be
it's
even better.
A moot point.
Exactly.
Infield at double play depth. Cervelli hit one to center field last time, and Hamilton ran down towards Hamilton, and he's going to come up with it. Josh Hamilton will scoop and step and fire a pellet, but it's wide, and the Yankees lead 2-1. The run charge against the ledger of C.J. Wilson. Austin Kern started this with that double to left with one out. And indeed now Ron Washington will play a little lefty-lefty. He'll get Oliver to face Gardner. He got the hard ground ball. And had it been to Elvis Andrus or to Guzman, that's perfect. But instead it was right between them. The Yankees overtake the Rangers in the 6th. We'll come back and tell you about the new Ranger pitcher in just a moment here on Fox Sports Southwest. Park tonight, and Darren Oliver for his 3rd stint in a Rangers uniform coming in. We were talking earlier tonight, Tom, about the first time the Rangers made the postseason. Darren Oliver pitched game 3 of that first postseason, matched up against Jimmy Key back in 1996. That was 1 day shy of what would have been his, I guess, 28th birthday. 27th birthday, and hopefully he'll be pitching right around his birthday in October this year. As Ron Washington keeps saying, first things first. Rangers haven't locked up anything yet, and they sure don't have this ball game in their control anymore. 2-1 New York, 2 on, 1 out. And Brett Gardner at the plate. Been a rocky last few weeks for Oliver. The ERA has crept up a little bit, but of course he started out guns ablazing this year. ERA was in the 1s most of the season. Third baseman Young is in. You have to always guard against a bunt from Gardner, the bunt base hit. That one falling down and outside. Ramiro Pena on deck. And Alexei Ogando up in the Ranger bullpen. The Rangers, by the way, will have 3, 4, 5 in their order coming up in the bottom of the 6th, starting with Hamilton. Adds the strike-off speed.
One of those high strikes.
Yeah, Gardner's been complaining about the high strikes all night. Now with help from Joe Girardi.
Yeah, just slightly high. Gardner's got a pretty good eye at the plate. I mentioned earlier, he's walked 49 times. Hasn't had 400 or 500, 450 at-bats yet like some guys do. Well, he's got a pretty good percentage of his at-bats have turned into walks.
Taken. Got him. And Gardner really upset. Probably not at that one, but the previous one.
That's pretty much the same thing that happened last time. He took a borderline pitch high, and then CJ zipped strike 3 by him.
Robinson Cano to pinch hit. That was definitely a strike, that one.
Yeah, he was so upset at the pitch before it, he let it affect the fastball right down the middle there. In any event, whether he liked the call or not, he is a strikeout.
A little bit unusual to pinch hit a lefty against a lefty. But Cano is not your run-of-the-mill left-hand hitter. He's one of the best overall hitters in the game right now.
And he's a .290 hitter against left-handed pitching. Well, he's not affected by it a whole lot.
And he is 6 for 8 lifetime against Oliver, including 4 for his last 4. So on the surface, it might not make a lot of sense. Pinch hit a lefty for a lefty, but you're right, Tag. You look inside the numbers, it makes a lot of sense.
He's a .348 hitter against right-handed pitching. And he's a .290 hitter against left-hand pitching. He's only been up 138 times, and he's hit 11 home runs and has 27 RBIs against left-handed pitching. So I would say he's not affected by it a whole lot.
One thing Cano has really done a lot better as he's gotten older, is he's learned to wait for his pitch. Doesn't chase much anymore.
Well, one thing he hasn't done this year is pinch hit. Of course, when you're playing every day, it's pretty tough to pinch hit.
Yeah, it's only the second time he hasn't started all year. Trying to pick up a couple of runners here. 2-1 New York in the top of the 6th. For 3 months of this year anyway, a second baseman really hadn't had a year like this, the kind that Cano was having, since Rogers Hornsby in the 20s. He was slugging over 600 for a while. Almost hit by that, and Benji Molina doing a great job to catch him. Of course, we've been talking about Josh Hamilton, Tag, all year as an MVP candidate. The Yankees are stumping for the candidacy of Cano. The 2-1 from the veteran Oliver is poked out of play, 2-2 with 2 on, 2 out.
That was a guy, for a guy that provides power. 31 doubles, 21 home runs. He doesn't strike out. He's only struck out 49 times this year. He's on pace to strike out or 60 times, which is pretty good for a guy hitting the power.
Under the glove of Oliver. Elvis Andrews has got it. Rights himself and fires. Got it! The Yankees strand 2. Hamilton's coming up. The Rangers trail by 1. Two at Sonic as well. Good luck to Jerry Traber of Fort Worth. If a Ranger hits the Grand Slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. And you got some home run candidates coming up. Vlad Guerrero will bat after Josh Hamilton. The Yankees now lead 2-1. The first of a brief but important 2-game series. And the Red Sox come in over the weekend. Josh Hamilton, who over the last 60 games has hit .417. Can jolt the Rangers right back into it here. A.J. Burnett has been dealing tonight. Brought the good stuff. And all 3 at bats for Josh. A.J. Burnett has started him way off the plate. For C.J. Wilson tonight, 5 1/3 innings of 5-hit, 2-run baseball. That second run scoring while he was in the dugout. O'Day and Oliver also pitched in that 6th inning. Burnett all the way from New York. Wanting no part of Josh Hamilton yet, 3-0.
Burnett's thrown 90 pitches himself. He's pitched pretty well in this game. Had minor problems in the 4th. Pitched out of it, only gave up 1 run.
Taking ball 4 and bringing up Vlad Guerrero. Josh hitting up a storm here at home on the Ford leaderboard. .386 home batting average. Best by a bunch. Vladdy 0 for 2 so far. Is going to take strike 1. He had the pinch hit Sunday, pinch hit opportunity. He wrapped into the game-ending double play.
Now, last time up, Vladdy swung at 4 sliders way outside. And that time up, Burnett started him off with a fastball for a strike. Probably go back to the sliders now. Nope, fastballs.
And chopped behind the bag. Kanota Jader. Yeah, they got it there on a high throw. So Vlad Guerrero is safe. That was pretty acrobatic just to get that out near the bag at second, and it was a close play.
Yeah, definitely. With Hamilton coming down there, just to be able to get the throw off was pretty good. But Hamilton goes in pretty hard. Take a look at it here. Cano, nice flip to Jeter. Here comes Hamilton and takes Jeter's feet out from underneath him. In the old days, that goes into the dugout for an extra base, but with a screen in front of the dugout, doesn't happen much anymore.
Nope, and that keeps a double play possibility in order. Nelly Cruz has the Rangers run batted in tonight. He put a double into the alley in left center in the fourth. No action yet in the Yankee bullpen, but Burnett, as you mentioned, Tom, is in the range now where you, I guess, wonder how long he can keep going. 95 pitches on a warm night. He's usually good for about 110, 115 even. In the air, center field. Gardner runs up on it, and Guerrero's got to retreat. Did you put in the call for Murphy earlier? I can't remember.
I did. He walked.
I'm gonna go and do it now.
Okay. Less chance of him walking right now for the man on first base. Last time first base was open, Cruz was on base with a right-hand hitter coming up next. Didn't walk him on purpose, but it definitely looked like Burnett was pitching around David.
David Murphy hits it high and hits it well towards the bullpen. It is gone!
Nice call, partner. That's why he was pitching around him the last time up.
You talk about a big month. Some big hits for David Murphy.
Yeah, it's one thing to hit some home runs, which is great, but when you hit one off Felix Hernandez when the score is 0-0, that's a big home run. You hit one against Burnett when you're down 2-1, that's a big home run.
Congratulations to Jerry Traber, our Sonic Slam winner. Don't mess with the Murph.
And Burnett kept everything away from David the last time up. That time he makes a fatal mistake.
The Rangers springboard ahead 3-2. Seems like every home run for David Murphy's with 2 outs.
Well, the last several have been big ones, that's for sure.
Number 8 for number 7. Cantu, a check swing foul. So it started with the walk. And, you know, give Josh Hamilton, I think, some credit too, Tom. Upending Derek Jeter, forcing that throw.
Definitely.
To go high. Sure
No
looked
doubt.
like a double play off the bat, but Hamilton's aggressive slide prolonging everything.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to play winning baseball. It's the way the Yankees play it. It's the way the good teams play it. That's the way Josh has been playing all year. One of many Rangers. All the Rangers are playing that way, but that's what you expect from a Ranger player. You have to have the speed to get there, and that certainly helped Josh be able to get there just in time to throw Jeter off balance.
Well, the night's gotten progressively better for Murphy. Strikeout, walk, homer. He also had that throw from left field that was really important, too, to cut down a man at the plate.
How big is that? If he doesn't throw him out at the plate, not only is that an extra run, but the inning is still alive with men on base. Taking advantage of some playing time, and good luck trying to get him out of the lineup.
Cantu hits a rocket towards left, a base hit. Had been 0 for 14 against Burnett, and now Cantu comes through. batting coach to the mound to talk to Burnett with a pitch count now at 103.
We're talking about David's home runs. The one with 0-0 score off Felix Hernandez was a 2-run homer. The other one that he had was a home run against Doug Fister when the Rangers were behind that put them ahead. So his last 3 home runs, 2 of them middle of the game, had big home runs to put the Rangers ahead when they were behind. One of them put them ahead against one of the best pitchers in the league when the score was tied.
None of them have been solos.
Those are big home runs, boy.
I just looked at it. 5 of his last 6, Tom, have been with 2 out.
Wow.
Here's Benji Molina.
I think even more than how many outs there were, his last 3 have been when he got them. Every one of them has put the Rangers ahead.
Still not seeing action in that Yankee bullpen. They're going to just let Burnett pitch through this 6th. Or at least attempt to.
.105. Not a terrible pitch count. Slightly high for this stage of the game, but that's slightly high enough to get someone warmed up.
Molina trying to not do that, but he did.
Now that's just a case of a hitter with a 2-0 count saying to himself, I know I'm getting a good fastball to hit right here, and I'm going to be ready to hit it. And that's usually pretty solid thinking. Unfortunately, Burnett didn't throw a strike, and he couldn't quite hold up.
In the air towards right. That will not get out, but David Murphy's did. And the Rangers lead the Yankees now 3-2 at the end of 6. Chevy at the ballpark would like to recognize Vandergrift Chevrolet for their support of the Mansfield Youth Baseball Association. For more info on Chevy's commitment to youth league baseball, just go to ChevyTexasBaseball.com. Murphy exciting those Ranger fans, 46,121 of them on a Tuesday night tonight. Now they'll watch as Derek Jeter comes up. And a new pitcher will be in the spotlight for the Rangers, Alexei Ogando. Just another Ranger with a 1-something ERA out of the bullpen.
Well, I think ideally what Ron would like to do here is have Ogando pitch the 7th, Frankie the 8th, and Neftali the 9th. If it works out that way, it's a good plan. Ogando's been throwing the ball great.
What a thrill for Alexei Ogando, who again couldn't even get into this country for 5 years. And now he's facing Derek Jeter in front of 46,000 people.
It's a good job by Darren Oliver. Struck out Gardner, got Cano to ground out with 2 men on and 1 out.
We haven't seen anything approximating butterflies from Alexei Ogando yet. Every time he's been out there, he's carried himself like he's very sure of what's about to happen. This top third of the Yankee order a little different tonight, obviously, with Mark Teixeira not here. Frankie Francisco getting ready. You've already seen O'Day and Oliver. All the O's have already been used. O'Day, Oliver, Ogando. Popped up from Jeter towards the crowd. And the Rangers have had a very difficult time here in this ballpark against the Yankees over the years. The last 10 years, only 2 teams in the last 10 years have had a winning record here. Detroit is one of them, 23-20. The Yankees are 29-12. Broken bat. Elvis trying to get his hero. He got him. A lot of chances for Elvis tonight. A couple throws have not gone well. That one was perfect.
It's a slider that Jeter hit right off the end of the bat. And the bat broke and unfortunately went in the stands. Nice play right there. Good, hard, strong, accurate throw.
And right behind that Yankee dugout is where some of that bat ended up.
Here's where you have to be careful with people attending to the fan and the game's still going on. People aren't watching the action.
Looks like nothing too bad, nothing too serious, although somebody obviously got a little bit of that bat.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a child, evidently.
Swisher had the RBI double in the 5th. Sent one to the base of the wall in center. Getting under this one.
Ogando threw him a changeup right there.
Cantu just couldn't get there. And he doesn't have a lot of experience navigating in that area. Of course, he's kind of new to this facility. And it didn't, at first glance, look like Ranger fans were really getting in his way, but it didn't really look like they were getting out of his way either. Let's see if we can see right here. Give him some room, guys. Don't know if Jorge would have caught it or not. But
yeah, it's a tough reaction to expect the fans to all part while the player puts his glove. You'd love to see that happen. It's tough to expect it. And it was borderline whether Jorge could have reached that far. I know he'd like to have had the chance without anybody in his way.
One and two now to Swisher. The Rangers trying to push their record to 65-47. Remember, they came in with a lead of 8 tonight. Ogando struck him out. Wasn't the fastball.
Ranger captain putting a hex on the Yankees. Swisher shaking his head a little bit. Let's see what Ogando did throw him. It was either a cutter. I think it was a cutter. 89 miles an hour. His fastball is 96, 97 tonight. At 89 miles an hour, it was either a changeup, but it looked with a movement on it like it was more of a cutter. There's his slider, which breaks more than a cutter, 82 miles an hour. Might have been a changeup. Whatever it was, it struck out Swisher. It was a pretty good pitch.
Thames 2 out of 3 tonight. Hitting where Mark Teixeira would normally be hitting in the order for Joe Girardi.
Ooh, there's a good slider. 2 of them.
Yep, 0-2. Getting him off of that fastball.
Yeah, if you're Thames, you got to be thinking, okay, I'm down 0-2. When's that 97 mile an hour fastball coming? Well, that's a nice slider right there. Tight, hard, and well located.
With 2 strikes on Thames. Oh, he barely got a piece.
They're the same pitch.
Yeah, you're right. Just reading Thames' mind. When's the Express going to arrive?
Yeah, Marcus had a little smile on his face right there. And that's what I'm sure that's what he's thinking. Okay, what do I do now?
The slider running over.
Never saw a fastball. A little show of emotion from Ogando right there.
7th inning stretch in Arlington. 46,000 plus watching. 3-2 Rangers.
Three to 2 as we play in the 7th inning, and you alluded to a little bit earlier, Josh, about the number change for Christian Guzman. He's wearing Matt Trainor's old number, 15. Matt said he had hinted around at it that he was going to ask for his number. It didn't quite get there. However, when he came in today, Matt Trainor had a new number. It was number 20, and that is not insignificant to Matt Trainor because he wears the number 20 in honor of his brother who passed away in 2002 named Michael. He didn't know he'd be getting that number, but Richard Hoggy Price, you guys well know, did some digging and found that out. So he surprised Matt Trainor with that number this afternoon. Matt was very glad to have it back on. He'd worn it earlier in his career. So just one of those little things Hoggy does. And also I'm trying to butter his bread a little bit so I'll take care of my luggage on the road.
Thank you, Emily. Guzman's going to fly out.
Very nice story, huh?
Indeed, Matt Trainer gets number 20 now because Brandon McCarthy's on the 60-day DL, will not be returning anytime soon. That's why Trainer didn't have 20 originally when he got here. He's already owned by Brandon McCarthy. Elvis Andrus is going to bat with Guzman being the first out. In a 3-2 ball game, the Rangers taking that lead on a 2-out homer from David Murphy last inning. A.J. Burnett continues out there on this warm Texas night. 110 pitches. Dave Robertson getting ready in the Yankee bullpen. And he, like a lot of the Yankee relief guys, have been really good of late. Alex Rodriguez will collect it and take care of Andrews. 2 down. Very cool customer right there. Alexei Ogando. First time he's played against the Yankees. Just kept chewing that gum, slinging in the sliders like it was no big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty good for a young pitcher. He's throwing 96 or 97 miles an hour and then come to Marcus Thames and throwing 4 straight sliders. And he didn't come close. Struck him out. Never even had to throw his fastball. Pretty good to have the ability to do that.
Michael Young jumps on one, sends it towards right. That's a quick inning for A.J. Burnett. The Rangers and the Yankees are at the end of 7. Rangers on top 3-2. Video summary, we're going to show you some David Murphy and what happened in the 6th inning with him. He's going to field this, get it in after Cervelli scores. Going to throw out a man at home plate. That's Nick Swisher. And then in the bottom of the 6th, David Murphy coming through with the go-ahead home run. He goes Chicken Express out there to make it a 3-2 game, and that's where we are into the 8th with Alex Rodriguez about to bat. And the call goes to Frankie Francisco to face him. Both teams with 6 hits tonight, the biggest, of course, from Murphy. We've seen O'Day, Oliver, Ogando. Now here's Frankie to pitch the 8th and hopefully get it to Neftali Feliz, who has not had a save opportunity yet in August. Been stuck on 29 saves for a while. Ball one outside. The last 2 times that Frankie has faced Alex Rodriguez, he has walked him. Kearns and Berkman to follow here in the Yankees 8th. The Ranger players and the coaches are downplaying playoff talk. Of course, you'd expect that. But it's tough from where we sit tonight, Tom, not to call this a playoff atmosphere tonight. 46,000 people, Rangers and Yankees, 3-2 game. Wave and a miss on 2-0. It's 2-1.
Well, here's a 2-0 fastball. That's just straight heat in a fastball count that he got by Alex.
Second leading RBI man in the majors right now is A-Rod. Drilling it to center field. Hamilton back. Gone.
He threw a 2-0 fastball by him, but he didn't throw the 2-1 fastball by him. Right out over the plate. Pretty good pitch to hit to a great hitter. He just didn't get away with it.
His 97th career home run in this ballpark. This time it's as a Yankee to tie the game 3-3.
He's trying to throw it down and away, throws it right down the heart of the plate. Wrong pitch, wrong location, not necessarily the wrong pitch, just the wrong location, not where he was trying to throw that ball.
.409-foot home run. At least a Ranger fan captured it out there. It's a 3-3 tie. 1-0 to Austin Kearns. For the first time in a little while, the Yankee fans were heard from right after that. Again, it dawns on you there are much fewer Yankee fans in this ballpark tonight than we've become accustomed to the last several years.
I think it's tougher for a Yankee fan to get a ticket in this ballpark now.
Yep. Off speed inside to Kearns, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Now the Rangers will have their turn against the Yankee bullpen, it would appear, in the bottom of the 8th inning. A.J. Burnett's pitch count up above 110. And the 3, 4, 5 part of the order will be coming up for Ron Washington's team, starting with Josh Hamilton. The Yankees trying to hold off Tampa Bay in that AL East. Tampa Bay has already won tonight, 8-0 in Detroit. By the way, the Angels tied with Kansas City, 1-1 in the third tonight. Oakland and Seattle scoreless in the third. (3-2) inside. Lance Berkman will come up. Mike Maddox to the mound to talk to Frankie. While we have an opportunity, let's send it out to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh, thanks. Real quick time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Austin from Haskell, Texas. Plays high school football about 3 hours out of here next to Abilene. Austin, you missed how many practices?
I missed 2 practices. Come see the Rangers beat the Yankees.
There we go. Was it worth it?
Heck yeah, it was worth it.
All right, there we go. It's going to be more than worth it because you can press the bag, the hat, the shirt. What do you got to say now, Austin, buddy?
I hope my coach doesn't make me run dirties.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck this football season. But go Rangers, right?
Go Rangers.
There we go.
All right, thank you, Jim. And now, with a runner on, we'll see how the Yankees want to play it. Lance Berkman isn't being paid a lot of money to bunt, that's for sure. Granderson is going to run at first base. And you have to keep an eye on him. The Yankees have attempted to steal tonight. Actually, a double steal earlier this evening. So the speedy Granderson at first, and Berkman not showing signs of a bunt. He won't need to now.
Yeah, Frankie's all over the place. Frankie's been throwing the ball well, actually with really good command in most of his appearances until tonight. He's all over the place now with his fastball.
Yep, everything's up. Just a second wild pitch all year from Frankie.
Well, he's trying to throw that ball down and away, and it's up and in. I mean, that's completely on the opposite side of the plate and high instead of low.
Frankie calling for a new baseball. The Yankees having tied it on the A-Rod home run. And the Yankees get a native Texan, Boone Logan, loosening in their bullpen. He's been really good of late. High fly ball from Berkman. He just missed that.
That almost went 480 feet.
But instead he cut under it. Granderson tags. Now he will scoot to third. So now all kinds of things to worry about. Wild pitch. The guy dropping down a bunt. If you play the infield, well, we'll see how to address here. As Cervelli indeed will be the batter.
Well, you got to think you're going to play the infield in, which makes it a little easier to roll a ground ball through the infield, to loop one over the infield. Doesn't matter where the infield's playing. The squeeze play is always something that's in play. Cervelli had a big base hit with Berkman on second base in the 6th inning to drive in the second run.
The infield is in, right to the lip of the grass. Off speed, strike one. Frank Francisco, of course, is known as a strikeout pitcher. This is a heck of a time to get one. Getting there. It's 0-2.
Had him way out in front of it.
Matt Harrison is up in the Ranger bullpen. You got Gardner on deck. The 0-2. Taken outside. That was a fastball that time. Frankie brings it. Outside. The inning starting with the home run from Alex Rodriguez. And the walk to Kearns and a wild pitch. Berkman. A fly ball deep enough to get the pinch runner Granderson to third. Taken inside.
He tried throwing 2 fastballs away, tried to sneak one on the inside corner and just missed with it. Good call. A little high. No, it's not high, but it's a little inside.
Now from 0-2 to 3-2 now. Go ahead man at third.
Well, you're looking for a strikeout right here. He might go on the splitter. What he got him to swing and miss that. Yeah, he did.
In on the hands and caught by Cantu. Granderson chased back to third, and now Gardner due. Remember, it's Cano after Gardner now. That's a pretty powerful number 9 guy in the order now that it's Cano. The lefty is ready. The indication is right now they're going to stick with Frankie Francisco. Young in at third. Gardner fouls it off. The Rangers scoring in the 4th and the 6th, getting the 2-run homer from Murphy in the 6th. The Yankees single runs in the 5th, 6th, and now the 8th. That's down and in. And you mentioned this earlier, Tom. Gardner, normally a tough guy to strike out, has been called out on a 3rd strike twice tonight.
Yeah, the 2nd strike in each one of his at-bats he felt was a little high. They were borderline pitches. Strike 3 in both at-bats was a good pitch each time.
Punched into the crowd, and Frankie's now got the jump on him. Count 1-2. On the ground to short. Elvis Andrus picking it up, firing, got it. Josh Hamilton will lead things off in the bottom of the 8th inning. All tied, 3-3. These fans still right now at the temperature we're told at 94 degrees. They're staying cool. In a 3-3 ball game that Boone Logan will enter right now. The native Texan, the San Antonio native, going to take over for A.J. Burnett. Burnett went 7 innings, walking 2, striking out 4. Gave up 3 runs, and now it's going to be Boone Logan, the lefty, to face Josh Hamilton. And all Logan has done, Tom, is retire 21 of the last 24 hitters that he's faced.
Well, it makes sense to have a lefty face Josh right here with the game on the line in a tie game. See what he does after that. Logan's the only lefty in the bullpen. And you've got David Murphy coming up after 2 right-hand hitters.
Changes defensively out there in the outfield. As Gardner's now in center. Or excuse me, Gardner's now in left and Granderson is now in center. Outside corner, strike one to Josh. Yeah, Gardner, Granderson, Swisher left to right in the outfield now. Remember, Cano came in a couple innings ago. He's at second. Three runs, 7 hits, no errors, 8 left for the Yankees right now. 3, 6, and 3 for the Rangers. They've tied a season high in errors tonight, and they've stranded 5. Wave and a miss. You saw Logan break in with the Chicago White Sox a few years ago. It was impressive then. Still only 25. Spent some time with Atlanta last year. Hamilton down on strikes. A rare game where he doesn't have a hit in this ballpark. We mentioned 37 of his last 38 games. He's got at least one. Not tonight, and Joe Girardi's on his way out following this. He's got the righty Robertson ready to go to face Guerrero and Cruz. So with the score tied 3-3, we'll take a break, come back and tell you about Robertson in just a moment on Fox Sports Southwest. Hello to John Radigan.
Hello, Josh. Yeah, normally at this point in the game, there are tons of fans hanging out with me out here by Section 9 where the Rangers live set is. Not tonight. They are on the edge of their seats. It is playoff-type atmosphere, playoff-type drama, and we will cover it all on Rangers Live, the post-game edition. We've got a cast of characters. You've seen Emily working. We've got all kinds of people. Jim Knox will help us with the post-game report. It's all coming up immediately following this one. Of course, we hope it'll all be happy Rangers talk right after this.
Thank you, John. Here's David Robertson, and the overall numbers might not look that great, Tom, but he right now is working on a run where opponents are 0 for their last 19 at-bats. That's the longest such streak of his career.
Oh, boy, between he and Boone Logan, they got 2 hot pitchers. Well, Robertson's got good stuff.
Alabama native out of Bear Bryant High School. Couldn't make that up. And Vladdy, no secret, has been struggling. He's 14 for his last 77 now. But obviously capable of one of those big swings connecting and making a difference. There's a big swing, but he lost it foul. It's not really getting around right now, not pulling for power of late. But obviously quite capable. 21 home runs already, 86 runs batted in. Wave and a miss. Big hack. But that's 2 strikeouts for the Rangers in the 8th. And up comes Nelly Cruz.
But obviously, Vladdy's been struggling, and obviously he swings and pitches out of the strike zone. But swinging and pitches out of the strike zone doesn't really distinguish him from any other time in his career. He's always done that. He's just not hitting a lot of the same pitches that he normally hits right now.
Nelson Cruz has doubled in a run. And he too will swing through a fastball. The only Ranger who's ever had a home run against Robertson is currently on the DL. That's Ian Kinsler. And again, they're going to take their time with Ian. Could be a couple weeks, maybe even a little bit more than that before we see him.
Good pitch, good swing. Just didn't get a hold of it.
Another one fouled back in the crowd. Boy, 46,121 and nobody's left. Down the line and picked up right near the chalk. Berkman to the bag. The Rangers down in order. To the 9th we go. Rangers 3 and the Yankees 3. As we go to the 9th, same 2 teams tomorrow night with Cliff Lee on the mound. And we'll see it on Fox Sports Southwest. If you don't have your tickets yet and you want to come, jump online, TexasRangers.com to make that happen. Here is Neftali Feliz. It is not a safe situation, of course, but it is a situation involving some high drama. Tie game, 9th inning. Neftali has not pitched for 5 days. And you hope he's not rusty in any way. He's got to deal with Robinson Cano and Derek Jeter right away.
He definitely wasn't rusty the last time he pitched. He had a little bit of time off from that outing. He came in against the A's and was throwing really well.
Only the second at bat for Cano tonight. He didn't start, was feeling under the weather, according to Joe Girardi. Again, the Yankees do not have Mark Teixeira available tonight. Stayed back in New York. The birth of his son William this morning. Taken. He's close, but it's 2-1.
Well, it's a nice movement on it. Looked like it came back and caught the inside corner. Yeah, almost. Could have gone either way.
Into left field, a base hit for Cano. We talked about it earlier, even when he wasn't in the lineup. He's one of the best players in the entire league this year, and up comes Jeter.
He's such a good hitter because he doesn't strike out. He just makes solid contact and uses both fields. He's got power. He can run. He's a really good player. That's about all you can say about it.
You mentioned the part where he can run. You got to guard against that a little bit. Jeter, obviously a pretty good hit and run guy.
I know he's not been a big stolen base guy, but he moves around the bases pretty well.
In big spots for years, Derek Jeter has been the man. We've seen that in one postseason after another. Neftali Feliz, 22 years old, trying to get him. Showing bunt and taking a strike. Jeter does occasionally sacrifice. In fact, some years more than occasionally. Back in 04, when he was already a very established all-star, he had 16 sacrifice bunts. Shows it, but takes it. The Rangers pitched out of a jam last inning after A-Rod had tied it with a homer. Jeter tonight 0 for 3, but walked and scored a run in the fifth. The Yankees had 2 out, nobody on, and that walk by Jeter ended up coming back to hurt C.J. Wilson, who allowed that double to Nick Swisher. Runner goes, and a bouncing ball towards second. They're going to try for the out there. They got it back to first. Double play!
Great play. Great play. They had the right guy covering. You know Jeter's going to try to go the other way, so the shortstop was covering on the play. Guzman took a shot, and it didn't look like Cano went in real hard to second base. Whether he did or not, he's out, and they're able to turn the double play. Oh, I see what happened. Cano had to stop to keep from being hit by the ball. And when he slowed down so the ball could go by him right there, that allowed Guzman to have the time to get the force out. Cano can't take out Elvis, and they turn it.
Don't underestimate that strength from Elvis Andrus, too. He was kind of settled back on that back leg and rifled it to first, barely in time to get Jeter. Now Nick Swisher. Boy, well, he's pumped up. That one's 99. Watch Elvis right here. Quick double clutch, and it's gone. Back into the crowd. And again, pretty much everybody here is okay with getting not quite enough sleep for work tomorrow. We're not going to miss the end of this. Swisher dumps it in a right. And a base hit for Swisher will bring Thames to the plate and bring A-Rod to the on-deck circle. Well, 2 hits in the inning against Feliz.
And Swisher gets jammed a little bit. High inside fastball. Nelly was playing way back to keep it a situation where you can't hit a double over his head. Willing to give up a single. Probably that one would have been a single anyway.
Outside to Thames. And like Swisher, he's got a couple of hits tonight. The pattern has been a single to left strikeout, single to left, then strikeout. And here's at bat number 5. Softly in there for a strike, 1-1.
Well, they don't want to give Thames a fastball. Last time up against Ogando, he saw 4 sliders. And in this at bat, he's seen 2, 1 for a ball, 1 for a strike. Pretty obvious what the Rangers scouting report is on Marcus Thames, fastball hitter. Doesn't mean you never throw him a fastball, but he hasn't seen one lately.
Fastball, but not one that he's going to do anything with. Obviously, a modest goal right now is to not have to face Alex Rodriguez in this inning. That can be accomplished if Feliz gets Thames. Into the crowd, 2-2. David Murphy, by the way, due to lead off for the Rangers in the bottom of the 9th. Down and away, 3-2, and now that runner from first will be going.
Inside corner, down he goes. A-Rod left on deck. The Rangers can win it now in the
Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by the Ford F-150, check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. It'll be the battle of the Davids here as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Robertson against Murphy. And what's always been perceived as David and Goliath until maybe this year, the Rangers and the Yankees. The Rangers feel like they're on pretty equal footing now. They can compete with the New Yorkers. And indeed, 3-3 tonight. Murphy already with a home run. He will take strike one. Here is your Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. This one gave the Rangers the lead, 3-2.
Home run. You can see Cervelli putting his glove down and outside. He does not want to get the ball up a little bit and on the middle part of the plate or in. We saw David pitch like this on the road, and a couple of times all he did was line base hits to left field on the pitch away. He's swinging the bat really well right now.
Just been murdering fastballs. But again, Robertson hasn't given up a hit to any of his last 21 batters right now. Was a tough take, but Murphy just kind of looked at it and works it to 3-1. Outside, Murphy's on as the winning run. Jorge Cantu to the plate. The Rangers play it. You've got Benji Molina on deck. Murphy scrambles back to first. Cantu with the Marlins was their cleanup hitter. Was not asked to be sacrificing. Still looking for his first Rangers run batted in. Showing that bunt. And he dribbles it up the line. They're going to say that's no problem with Cantu getting tangled up there momentarily with Cervelli. Play stands. And Murphy down to second base for Benji Molina.
A good job by Jorge right there to get the bunt down.
I wondered if he could, and there was that contact.
Yeah, there's no way that contact has anything to do with Cantu.
Over to the bag to cover is Cano to get Cantu. Joe Girardi out for a quick word with the home plate umpire Estabrook, and now Molina.
Well, the Yankees, let's see, Swisher in right has decent arm. Granderson has a pretty good arm in center.
Gardner real good in left, right?
Gardner throws pretty well in left. They'll shorten up a little bit so that they have a shot to throw someone out on a base hit. Kind of the opposite situation of nobody on. You don't want to give up a double. Right now you've got a man on second. And if it's a base hit and you don't throw him out of the plate, the game's over. So they're playing a little shallower than normal, which means you might be able to shoot one over their head a little bit easier.
Cervelli with a block to keep Murphy at second.
From what we've seen with Cervelli, he does a great job of blocking balls in the dirt. A.J. Burnett tested him 2 or 3 times with his curveball, and Cervelli did a great job of blocking the ball. Another example of it right there. Yeah, good play. Cervelli, you don't know much about him, but every time we see him, he sure looks like a good player to us.
Steered in there for a strike. It's up to the new guys here, Molina and Guzman at the bottom of the order.
Well, Benji's made a beautiful play that has allowed the game to be 3-3 when he scooped that ball from David Murphy and then tagged Swisher for the last out of the inning.
A check of Murphy. Rip and a miss by Molina. A lot of sinking action to a lot of what Robertson throws. And he has thrown 4 wild pitches this year. But he's only allowed 3 home runs. Quick reminder, we're on the air with Rangers Live tomorrow at 6:30. First pitch, 7:05. Cliff Lee will throw it. Matched up against Javier Vazquez, the second of the 2 games against the Yankees. The Yankees do make a return trip here in September. Of course, everybody wonders if there'll be another in October. Count of 1-2. Benji Molina's already done a lot of things, Tag, as a Ranger. One thing he doesn't have yet is a walk-off hit.
Well, let's just look for one right here then.
Put that on the resume. Close, but no, it is 3-2. Cervelli out to the mound. Keeping in mind it's been 10 days since Robertson is allowed a hit. April 22, by the way, is the day that sticks in your mind. That's the day that the Rangers kind of turned their season around this year. They were 5-9 this year on April 22nd. They've got the best record in baseball since then. Drive into center. Granderson going back. Murphy's going to tag and race towards third.
A well-hit ball. And now at least you can score an infield hit or a pass ball or a wild pitch.
Guzman's being called back. And how about this? The rookie, Mitch Moreland, will get his chance to be a hero against the New York Yankees. Moreland and Robertson, I got to think, Tom, I don't have this in front of me, are familiar with each other from their days from back in college. It's Mississippi State against Alabama here. They were in school together at around the same time, so I'm guessing Moreland at least has seen a bit of Robertson and vice versa. We'll see if Cervelli, the catcher, will be tested yet again to make sure one doesn't get by. Murphy's poised to come home on a wild pitch. We're going to put Moreland on to get to Elvis Andrus. Play the percentages. Righty-righty. For a while this year, Elvis had the best batting average in the entire American League with runners in scoring position, and especially runners in scoring position 2 out. He's fallen off a bit over the last month, but he will have this opportunity presented to him. Years old, played in front of a full house against the Yankees. Bottom of the ninth. Kind of thing you figure he's dreamed about. Andrews has been a very patient hitter, kind of defying that young age. And here we go. A bunt single, but otherwise 0 for 3 for Andrews tonight. Tough pitch taken for a strike.
So Alex at third base is in, at least even with the bag. Moves back a little bit now. He doesn't want him to bunt and drive in the line, so he's moving in to take the bunt away from him.
Flared into the crowd. Michael Young's on deck.
Yankees had some men on in the ninth inning, top of the ninth inning. Rangers had them on in the bottom of the ninth. Long inning, a lot of strategy going on in the ninth inning. Yankees actually hit into a double play on a hit and run.
Runner going, and on appeal, no swing. Moreland scampers into second.
Good call. He checked it in time.
No force play available now with Moreland at second. Murphy the winning run at third. Elvis in the right. It's sinking, but it's caught. We're going to extra innings. The Rangers and the Yankees tonight. A-Rod is coming up. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. The Rangers have overcome 3 errors. The Yankees have stranded 9. Andres Blanco's now in the game at second base. The Rangers and the Yankees will go to extra innings. The 10th is upon us as Alex Rodriguez will bat against Neftali Feliz. And you talk about a power versus power matchup here, partner. Got the young flamethrower against a guy with more than 600 career home runs, one of them tonight. Predictably, the outfielders are back. A-Rod taking a strike. Feliz threw 15 pitches last inning. It shouldn't be much of an issue to at least face a couple batters here in the 10th. Again, he hasn't pitched in 5 days until tonight. A-Rod lunging at one.
Both Feliz and Ogando doing a nice job today of using their sliders and not just going with their fastballs. Ogando was very effective with his slider. Feliz struck out Thames looking on a slider and gets A-Rod to pop this slider up.
Dial it down under 80 miles an hour. And Alex just out in front. Granderson will send one in the air to left. Murphy back. That's out number 2. The Rangers haven't been in extra innings since July the 27th. That was a walk-off homer from Nelly Cruz to beat Oakland, making a winner of Neftali Feliz.
Well, the good part is 2 up, 2 down quickly.
Yep.
Got a chance of getting through 2 innings with a little over 20 pitches.
Now Feliz will face Berkman. He's done that already this year. Of course, Berkman is a Houston Astro. The switch hitter out of Austin. His dad made him a switch hitter because he was a great big Mickey Mantle fan growing up, and now Berkman plays for Mantle's New York Yankees. Hadn't really done much as a Yankee yet, hitting 167. Chipping that one in the air, and the Rangers now will bat in the bottom of the 10th with Michael Young, Josh Hamilton, and then Vlad Guerrero in a 3-3 tie. And now one of the greatest older closers of all time, Mariano Rivera, will go to the Hall of Fame this year. Better than ever. ERA of .88. Opponents sitting in the 130s against him. If you go back to April of 07, Tom, he's converted 95% of his save opportunities. This isn't a save opportunity, obviously, but pressure situations, 95%. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great closers. Some of them are in the Hall of Fame, but in my opinion, this is the best of all time right here.
He's 40 years old and not showing any letdown at all. The Rangers are going to have to figure out a way to solve him here. Young, Hamilton, and Guerrero will have their opportunity. 3-3 tie. And of course with Rivera, as it's been for years, it's that sinister cut fastball. Just still mangling bats at the age of 40. Michael Young actually has 6 career hits against Rivera, including 2 in his last 2 chances. He's the only active Ranger that's ever had an extra base hit against Rivera. Swings right away. It's 0-1. Hamilton on deck. It's been the rare hitless night for Josh. On the ground slowly towards the hole. Backhand pickup. Young hustling, safe at first. No doubt he was gonna do everything he could. That's Michael Young. Just a matter if Jeter could get enough mustard on it.
Jeter gets rid of it quickly, makes a strong throw. Nice play by Berkman. Michael just beat it out.
Josh Hamilton comes up, a little past due tonight. Doesn't have a hit yet. A properly placed hit right here, and the Rangers win. Swinging right away, fouls it.
Well, A-Rod is way off the line at third base. He's playing almost over toward shortstop. Or if Josh were to slice a ground ball down the third base line, really right at third base, he's got a double. And Josh, more so than ever before, uses the whole field and hits a lot of balls to left field. Trying to come inside with that cut fastball. You can see the catcher's mitt way inside.
Slow roller. Base hit, Josh Hamilton. Young will stop at second base. A worm burner that just kept on going. It's only the second time all year, Tom, that Rivera has allowed back-to-back base hits. And up comes Vlad Guerrero.
Well, in that position, he made the pitch that he wanted. He was trying to throw a cut fastball in and jammed it, which he did. But he's going to find a hole with the ground ball. He threw the ball right where he wanted it. Got the contact he wanted, just not the location of the ground ball. In a bunt situation, but not the right guy up there to bunt, that's for sure.
Well, Vladdy is paid to swing the bat with authority. He swings, bouncing ball. A-Rod's going to smother it. Fire to first, and it works like a sacrifice. The winning run is at third.
That's a great play by Alex. Playing off the line a little bit, takes a base hit away.
Well, and it's pick your poison now. Nelson Cruz is due up and coming up with first base open. The last extra inning game we mentioned for the Rangers. Nelly had the walk-off hit. You can walk him, but then you get Murphy, who's been just blazes hot.
Well, we've been playing on the road a little bit, and especially in Anaheim, we saw the third baseman playing right on the line frequently. And against the Yankees, you see A-Rod playing way off the line. In that particular case, he took a hit away.
They want the chance for the double play. There was a couple of Augusts ago that the Yankees gave up a bases-loaded hit as a walk-off. That was Marlon Byrd against Damaso Marte. But this is Rivera, and he doesn't give up a lot of home runs. You don't need one here. You just need a sac fly.
Yeah, and this will present an interesting situation, because if they play back for the double play and David gets jammed and hits a little ground ball past Rivera towards second, they're not going to turn a double play, and then they might not be able to make the play at the plate either.
Yankee fans, I'm sure, always remember what happened in Game 7 of that World Series against Arizona when the infield came in a little bit. Luis Gonzalez got sawed off, and the World Series ended with a left-hand hitter just plopping one beyond Jeter.
And that's the reason that they're going to play in right here. They just can't take a chance on a softly hit ground ball not being a double play, so they're going to try to get the ground ball and turn it into an out at the plate.
Up and in. 2-0, and the patience of David Murphy paying off for now.
The outfield is playing way in. Any kind of a sacrifice fly and the game's over, so they're playing in. And where they're playing, they might be able to take a base hit away. They're so shallow.
Mariano Rivera, who has walked only 6 batters all year, is at 3-0. Murphy has already drawn 2 walks tonight. He has hit a home run tonight.
Well, he's got to throw a strike here, so it's tough for him to try to jam you with his cutter. You get a good pitch, drive it to the outfield.
He fouls it.
All right, got a good swing at it. You've seen the fastball, you've swung at it. Got to throw you the same pitch 3 times in a row.
Strategically, you understand it, but David Murphy makes him pay. The Rangers beat the Yankees. They've had a chance to be 9 games up in the AL West. They messed with the Murph. And the Rangers win it walk-off style 4-3.
Now, what a way to beat the Yankees, too. You make it a close game. Both starting pitchers pitched well. Both bullpens pitched well. You get the greatest closer, at least one of them, of all time. And quickly, 2 hits, a ground ball, a walk, and a hit, and it's over. And the Rangers win. Neftali goes 2 innings and gets the win, and that's a great win for the Rangers right there.
Rivera with that opponent's batting average of 130 for the year. The Rangers hit 750 against him in that inning, going 3 for 4. That's an excited set of owners right there.
And that was not a cheap hit either. That was a rope. He had the 3-1 pitch to swing at. He got the cutter, and he did the rest.
Michael Young scored the winning run, and his expression never changed. David Murphy standing by with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Josh. What were you looking for in the situation like that? Bases loaded, going against one of the best closers in the league.
I'm sure the only thing he's going to throw me is a cutter right there. You know, it's fun going up against the best in the game right there.
I tried to. We got to finish this one. How sweet was it tonight? You had 2-run homer. You get the game winner. You also played excellent defense out in the field.
Thank you.
There you go.
Like I said, you know, what could be more fun? Playing against a great team out there. just a solid ball game all around, both teams, and it's just it's a fun game. You want to be a part of that one.
One quick question: the atmosphere tonight, the crowd, the Ranger fan, sort of like a playoff atmosphere. How did that help you guys?
It's awesome. These fans have been behind us all year long, and we know they're going to continue to do that for us. So this one's for y'all.
There we go. Way to go, David. Great game. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, David Murphy. Nolan Ryan was on the field right there to say thanks. Good job to David Murphy. The Rangers 4, the Yankees 3. Thanks to that right there. Rangers Live coming up when we come back on Fox Sports Southwest.